This is the QTV Nightly News and I am Jul Denjai. Thank you for joining us, and a reminder that you can also join us on Q Radio 103.3 FM. Here are the headlines. On Thursday, President Adama Barrow received His Excellency Dr. Julius Maada Bio, President of Sierra Leone and current Chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government at the State House. The U.S. Federal Court will hold the sentencing hearing for Michael Sankoria, a former member of the death squad, the so-called junglers in the Gambia, on the 22nd of August 2025 in Denver, Colorado. The President of Africa Relief and Community Development is in the Gambia on a mission to promote humanitarian support and community empowerment. The Gambia Bureau of Statistics, GBOS, in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, launched the 2025 SDG 16 Monitoring Survey Report on Wednesday. The Gambia Public Procurement Authority, GPPA, has concluded a 4-day retreat to review and validate its newly developed standard procurement forms. These and other stories coming ahead. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining us. If you're just tuning in, this is the QTV Nightly News. Now, on Thursday, President Adama Barrow received His Excellency Dr. Julius Maada Bio, President of Sierra Leone and current Chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, at the State House in Banjul. Usman Jata tells us more.
President Julius Maada Bio's flight touched down at Banjul International Airport approximately 1 p.m. He was warmly welcomed by President Adama Barrow, accompanied by senior government officials before heading to the State House. At the State House, the two heads of state held a closed-door meeting focusing on strengthening the long-standing bilateral ties between the Gambia and Sierra Leone, a relationship rooted in shared history dating back to the colonial era. As chairman of ECOWAS, President Bio's visit comes at a crucial time when the West African sub-region is facing multiple challenges, including security threats, economic pressures, efforts to deepen regional integration, and this week, a weather-related state of emergency in Cabo Verde. This visit also comes as the Gambia's leadership at the ECOWAS Commission is set to conclude in 2026, highlighting the importance of collaboration and continuity within the regional bloc. Following their private meeting, the two leaders shared a walking lunch before President Bio's departure to Freetown later in the day. In June 2025, President Dr. Julius Maada officially assumed the chairmanship of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, marking a historic moment as the first Sierra Leonean head of state to hold this prestigious position. Although a press conference was initially scheduled as part of the visit, in line with past presidential engagements at the State House, it was cancelled due to the tight nature of President Bio's itinerary. After his short closed-door engagement and walking lunch with President Barrow, he was later escorted to the airport. The Sierra Leone president's visit highlights both leaders' commitment to strengthening bilateral ties and advancing ECOWAS's goals of regional peace, stability and economic integration. Osman Jata, QTV News.
Now, the U.S. Federal Court will hold the sentencing hearing for Michael Sankoria, a former member of the Junglers Death Squad in the Gambia, on the 22nd of August 2025 in Denver, Colorado. Korea was convicted on the 15th of April 2025 by a Denver jury after a 5-day trial. Jacqueline Coley tells us more.
Michael Sankoria was found guilty of 5 counts of torture and 1 count of conspiracy to commit torture. The charges stem from the 2006 torture of individuals suspected of involvement in an attempted coup against former Gambian President Yahya Jammeh. Judge Christine M. Aguelo, who presided over the trial, scheduled the sentencing hearing where Korea could face up to 120 years in prison. During the trial, victims and witnesses who traveled from the Gambia testified about the brutal actions of Korea and other members of the Junglers.
The government's evidence showed that Korea, along with his co-conspirators, tortured and abused victims accused of plotting a coup against the regime then in power in the Gambia, a West African country that at the time was under the regime of President Yahya Jammeh. Korea belonged to a special unit of the president's security forces known as the Junglers, who brutally cracked down on what the regime claimed was a coup plot. Trial testimony revealed the direct role Korea played in that torture.
At the upcoming hearing, both the prosecution and defense will present arguments regarding the appropriate sentence. Victims and witnesses testified that following the 2006 attempted coup against former President Yahya Jammeh, Korea and other Junglers brutally tortured suspected participants. Their methods included beatings, suffocation with plastic bags and electric shocks. The trial's progress was supported by the efforts of victims and Gambian civil society organizations. 11 victims traveled from the Gambia to Denver to testify and observe the proceedings. The case against Korea was prosecuted under the Extraterritorial Torture Act, a federal law that allows the U.S. government to pursue individuals found within the United States for acts of torture committed abroad. The U.S. government has recommended that Judge Aguelo imposed the maximum sentence of 120 years. Following sentencing, Korea may appeal the jury's verdict, but only on limited grounds. Jacqueline Coley, reporting for QTV News.
Now, the President of Africa Relief and Community Development is in the Gambia on a mission to promote humanitarian support and community empowerment. Dr. Mohamed Musa's visit focuses on initiatives that uplift vulnerable groups, including children, women, and persons with disabilities, while also addressing broader social and development needs nationwide. Let's have more details of that in this report. The President of Africa Relief and Community Development, Dr. Mohamed Musa, arrived in the Gambia on Tuesday, the 12th of August, where he was received at the airport by Fatou Kinte, the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare. On Wednesday, Dr. Musa visited the Bakote Children's Shelter, a facility providing care for dozens of vulnerable children. The visit offered Dr. Musa and his delegation a first-hand view of the challenges facing child welfare and protection services in the country. His next visit was to the former Women's Bureau offices in Banjul, now housing the Gambia Commission for Refugees, a site long associated with national efforts to promote gender equity and women's empowerment. There, the delegation discussed enhancing support for women through initiatives in education, economic empowerment, and improved access to healthcare. Here is Ilo Jallo, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare.
We are very pleased and privileged to welcome you to the Gambia on behalf of the Minister and on behalf of the Government of the Gambia, and especially on behalf of the President. For us, Africa Relief is a very important partner and a very big supporter to our ministry and to the Gambia as well.
Dr. Musa noted that while the organization operates in 3 African countries, the Gambia holds a special place in their hearts, as it is home to the first regional office for Africa Relief on the continent.
We want in Gambia especially to have a different work in different aspects. Of course, our mission, education first, because we believe in education. Education is everything. Education is the key of any progress in any country. We believe in health. We believe in empowering women, because the woman is everything in the community. Without women, we cannot do anything in any community. We believe too in to help the people with the special need.
This visit is also expected to foster stronger collaboration between Africa Relief and Gambian institutions, with potential focus areas including capacity building, infrastructure support, and social welfare programs. Dr. Musa once again reaffirmed his organization's commitment to continuing its support for the people of the Gambia and the African continent at large.
I promised the minister we will do anything, inshallah, to help this facility to run and go in terms of buildings, in terms of medicine, medical supplies, in terms of training, as much as we can do. And of course, this is maybe is not in the facility, or this is in the country at large, our signature project, the water wells.
Africa Relief and Community Development is based in the United States and has received over $7 million in kind donations, including food, medical supplies, clothing, and shelter. These donations have been crucial in responding to emergencies and providing essential resources to communities in crisis. For QTV News, I am Jul Denjai. We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more national news stories. Do stay tuned and join us after the break.
Supersonics Islamic Insurance, the Gambia's first digital insurance provider, brings innovation, convenience, and Sharia compliance to your doorstep. We offer a wide range of general insurance services, ensuring peace of mind and protection for what matters most. Whether at home, on the go, or in business, experience the difference with Supersonics Islamic Insurance Company Limited. Contact us today, +220-5132-319, 5132-318, or 5132-315. Email us info@supersonicsinsurance.com or on our website www.supersonicsinsurance.com, or visit us at Baker Plaza 56 Liberation Avenue, Banjul.
Join your biggest network with the cheapest tariff in the Gambia and enjoy crystal clear calls and super fast internet at the cheapest tariff, only with QCell. Rush now and grab your free QCell SIM card today from any of our care centers near you. QCell, our biggest network with the cheapest tariff. QCell Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. Now, the Gambia Bureau of Statistics, GBOS, in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, launched the 2025 SDG 16 Monitoring Survey Report under the theme Advancing Governance, Peace and Justice through Data and Dialogue. Loli M. Kamara tells us more.
Stakeholders from the different sectors of government, ministries and agencies, civil society organizations and UN agencies came together to discuss, share data relevant to SDG 16, facilitate dialogue on policy implications and priority actions to accelerate progress on governance, peace and justice in the Gambia. The Gambia's Statistician General, Nyakasi MB Sanya, emphasized that the survey goes beyond mere statistics. It captures the experiences, perceptions and aspirations of Gambians. He noted that the findings provide vital evidence to inform national policy, guide resource allocation and enhance accountability as the country advances the implementation of the Gambia's recovery-focused National Development Plan 2023-2027, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the African Union's Agenda 2063.
These insights are critical. They provide a roadmap for targeted interventions, whether in strengthening community safety, improving public service delivery, tackling bribery and corruption, or expanding inclusive governance. They remind us that sustainable development is not only about economic progress, but also about building a society where every citizen feels safe, respected, and heard.
Seni Sise, program specialist and head of governance at UNDP, noted that the 2025 survey findings provide both encouragement and a call to action.
The data also reveal areas of concern. The prevalence of physical violence and harassment has increased since 2021, and the perception of safety, particularly among women, have decreased. Satisfaction with government services remain low, with education and health services, and only 1/3 of respondents perceive decision-making processes as inclusive and responsive. These findings underscore the need for renewed efforts to strengthen institutional accountability, improve service delivery, and foster civic engagement.
Sina Smith, governance data and policy analyst for UNDP Global Policy Center for Governance in Oslo, Norway, is also part of the participants.
After the two-day workshop, it will be great to understand a bit more on what the data landscape is at the moment, and also where the policies are heading, and whether there's some discussions on increasing the data in aspects that we don't know anything about in the Gambia at the moment.
The SDG 16 survey represents a significant step forward, incorporating often underrepresented dimensions such as justice, safety, and discrimination into measurable and reportable progress. This national workshop acts as a vital link in transforming global goals into concrete local action, ensuring that data is both relevant and effectively translated into practical strategies. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
The Gambia Public Procurement Authority, GPPA, has concluded a 4-day retreat at Sindola Lodge in Kanilai, where it reviewed and validated its newly developed standard procurement forms, created in line with public procurement laws. Mam Nabuka reports.
The retreat brought together senior government officials and procurement experts from various institutions to review the forms and ensure that they meet legal standards, promote transparency, and reflect modern procurement practices, efficiency, and regulatory compliance. The Gambia Public Procurement Act 2022 was enacted following a bill tabled in the National Assembly by the Finance Minister to modernize the existing procurement law and address its weaknesses. The Act enhances efficiency, transparency, and fairness in public sector procurement, and introduces stronger rules for excluding suppliers who pose risks to the procurement process. The Gambia Public Procurement Authority has been involved in the procurement process since the enactment of the 2001 Procurement Act and has played a key role in subsequent amendments and updates to the country's procurement laws. Fode M. Jaite, the Director General of the GPPA, sheds light on the institution's commitment to leverage technology and strategic sourcing to refine processes and deliver greater value to economic operators.
We have also successfully implemented a new e-procurement portal, streamlining the business registration process and reducing transaction times. In the past, when you come to the office, you'll see a queue of economic operators trying to register. Now we have a portal. You can register online wherever you are, at home, in your office, and even if you are outside the country, you can register online. This reduces interface, and of course, wherever interface is reduced, there is also a resultant reduction in financial malpractice and irregularity.
Ibrahim Asanyang is the Director of Procurement Policy and Operations at the GPPA.
This retreat serves as a strategic platform for finally reviewing and updating these documents to ensure they remain relevant, effective, and compliant with the current regulatory standards, and finally approve a rollout for usage. This initiative is part of GPPA's broader vision to create a procurement system that meets international best practices while supporting national development goals.
Yahya Drame, the Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, commended the initiative and called for open collaboration to ensure the best of outcomes.
Your insights are not just welcome, they are essential. Therefore, I urge you to engage constructively with the sessions ahead. Question and challenge what does not serve our national interests. Recommend improvements grounded in your daily experiences. And above all, collaborate openly to develop tools that are practical, legally sound, and reform-driven.
As the GPPA moves forward, it reaffirms its commitment to promoting integrity and efficiency in public procurement, paving the way for sustainable development in the country. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News.
Gambia participates with support from the United States Embassy in Banjul, concluded a 2-day capacity building training course for more than 30 media practitioners on countering false propaganda and misinformation. Loli M. Kamara covered the opening and felt the support.
In an age of social media dominance, where everyone wants to be the first to publish a story, it's easy to rush to publish without first checking facts. This initiative aims to equip journalists with advanced fact-checking techniques, digital verification tools, and strategies to identify and dismantle attempts at narrative manipulation, skills deemed critical in the run-up to the presidential election. Participants we interacted with said the training comes at the right time, as misinformation and propaganda often spike during election periods, threatening the integrity of the democratic process. Mar Nyang, the executive director of the Gambia Participates, spoke of the training's potential impact on the beneficiaries.
Word that comes from your platform have an impact on the population that follows the work that you do. So you have a huge responsibility. Your platforms can make or break a society. And you've been building a society, and we wanted to complement that effort. We wanted to strengthen that effort, but at the same time as well, we wanted to protect you. Because some of the words that will come from your platform could attract legal implications.
Momodu Gajaga of QTV and Halimatu Sise of CTL Media, both participants, say the training is timely, and they both explained how it will help strengthen their ability to verify content before publishing.
And it's another capacity building that will enhance my knowledge and capacity when it comes to countering false information and false propaganda, as it happens a lot in today's media because of social media. And also, sometimes we can say politicians would use your platform to sell their agenda, even if some of the things that they're saying is not really accurate. But you as a journalist, it's your responsibility to vet that, question them on the information they're giving you.
They are the people who inform, educate, and entertain the masses. So it is very important for us to know about these things, to be at the forefront of fighting misinformation and also hate speech as well. Because we are the ones who reach out to people, we reach out to politicians, we reach out to ordinary citizens to talk to them about their needs, to talk to give them a platform to express themselves as well. So it is very important for us to be part of this training, to know how to go about these things.
Over the next 2 days, topics such as ethical journalism in the era of narrative manipulation, digital forensics for content authentication, and responsible reporting in politically polarized environments will be explored in depth. The U.S. Embassy's communications officer, Fatoumata Sise, herself a former journalist, commended journalists for their role in shaping national discourse and urged them to maintain high standards of fairness and integrity. With the presidential election fast approaching, the ability of journalists to detect and expose false propaganda is vital, not only to safeguard truth, but also to empower the public with the skills to recognize misinformation themselves. For QTV News, Loli M. Kamara.
The report there by Loli M. Kamara brings us to the end of this news bulletin, but before we go, here is a recap of the headlines. On Thursday, President Adama Barrow received His Excellency Dr. Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone and current Chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government at the State House. The U.S. Federal Court will hold the sentencing hearing for Michael Sankoria, a former member of the death squad Junglers in the Gambia, on the 22nd of August 2025 in Denver, Colorado. The President of Africa Relief and Community Development is in the Gambia on a mission to promote humanitarian support and community empowerment. The Gambia Bureau of Statistics, GBOS, in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, launched the 2025 SDG 16 Monitoring Survey Report on Wednesday. The Gambia Public Procurement Authority, GPPA, has concluded a 4-day retreat to review and validate its newly developed standard procurement forms. And just a reminder that tomorrow, Friday, is a public holiday to observe the Christian Feast of Assumption Day, commonly known as Sangmare. This is all we have for you in this edition of the News Bulletin. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for another News Bulletin. Thank you for watching.